The older I get, the more I appreciate small moments like a walk in nature or sitting down with my book and a cup of tea. There is an emotional relief in having fewer stuff. Less clutter means less noise surrounding you. Every object we own needs our attention. We need to store it, clean it, and care for it. It begs to be seen or to be used. I'm not a minimalist. In fact, I really dislike the look of a minimalist home. However, I have always had a minimalist mindset, and even though I decorate like a maximalist because I love the Victorian and Renaissance era, my house feels clutter-free and healthy and organized, and I hate owning things that I don't love owning or that feel unuseful. Being an old soul helps me save money too. I don't feel the need to spend money on the newest gadgets, and I just love to buy secondhand now. Much of my decor are also things that I got from my grandparents and did not cost any money. I also never feel influenced by social media and what other people own, mostly because I just don't spend time scrolling, but also because most modern things leave me cold. In this case, being an old soul actually helps me save money. People used to own less stuff, but the things that they did own were more expensive and made by hand and truly cared for and appreciated. They repaired things instead of throwing them away. This is something that always inspired me. It is easy to get overstimulated, and modern life constantly pushes us toward constant buying and scrolling and upgrading. The money we earn needs to be spent. And the next step is to work even more just so we can buy more. It's an endless circle. When I did my first big declutter, I had so many regrets. I donated so much stuff that I got really angry with myself. Why did I buy all those things? I also tried to sell things online with no results. Why? Because everyone was doing the same. They buy and then they regret. That's the first time that I noticed what an overload of stuff there is to find online, and I started to wonder, why wouldn't I first look secondhand in the future instead of just going to buy something new? Everyone is getting rid of quality wooden furniture from their grandparents, full oak tables and chairs and closets. But with a little bit of paint and handwork, you can make incredible transformations. And I wish I had realized this sooner in life. I want decoration and furniture with a soul, with character. And don't get me started on gift giving. I always ask my friends to use my wish list so they don't buy me anything that I don't actually need or want. The only thing on my wish list they will find is, of course, books. At the time when I started getting rid of things I accumulated over the years, my mindset changed. When I wanted to buy something, I really thought things through. Do I really need it? I usually wait a long time before placing an order just to make sure I'm making the right decision. I was just most frustrated by the amount of clothes and the amount of teacups that I owned. And what helped me so much while decluttering was asking myself, okay, if I would be able to trade this item and get my money back, would I take the money or would I keep the item? For example, I would stand with 2 identical teacups that I once bought in my hand and ask myself, if someone would hand me back my money in exchange for these, would I take it? There were too many cases in which I nodded and said, yes, I would. What also helped is putting things in a box, like clothes, for example, and see if I miss the items I put in there. And I do this when I cannot make up my mind about certain items. I do think that the more money we make, the more we will spend. But it doesn't have to be that way. It's easier to save money if you don't expose yourself to what other people own. So if you feel like you buy too much, one piece of advice that I can give you is to spend less time online. We don't even have to leave our house to buy things now. We can do it from the comforts of our home. and that can be a problem. I rather have fewer things in my life, which means less cleaning and fewer things that demand my attention, but I do want them to be decent quality. There is such beauty in owning fewer things because you start to appreciate what you have so much more. If you own 3 pairs of silver earrings, it won't take long to polish them and to take care of them. But if you have to polish 70 pairs, you probably won't even bother. Silver earrings is something that I also acquired very easily over the years, ever since my teenage years actually, and I know I always go for my favorite ones anyway, but it is still hard to let them go. I am also getting enchanted by nature more and more. The older I get, the more comfort I seem to find in beasts and plants and just venturing into nature with a book. In recent days, I have been going on walks with Ovid's Metamorphoses and I've been having so much fun. It is Victor Hugo who said, "Nature is the most accomplished of artists." And Oscar Wilde said, "It seems to me that we all look at nature too much and live with her too little." Because we are living with so many devices and screens, I had to go back and relearn what it feels like to step away from it all. I rather go on an evening walk than sit before the TV screen. Having a deep conversation with a loved one or spending time with yourself on that walk will do so much more for your mood and for your health than spending time with screens, especially when you feel drained at the end of the day. We don't get enough exercise anyway. People used to walk more, but now there's too much distraction, too much to keep us busy and active. We seem to be slowly killing ourselves, smothered by screens, an inactive body, and the stuff that we buy. I am so happy with my home because it feels like a refuge. There are warm colors, meaningful and beautiful objects all around me, and everything I see makes me happy. When I need to find something, I know exactly where it is because everything has a home. And whenever I go out to buy something, in most cases I can keep the rule of something else having to go. For example, when I see this very beautiful teacup, I say to myself, this is something that I don't really need and I have too much of. Would I be willing to donate a cup so I can buy this one? Usually the answer is no. We have so many ways of acquiring new things, but few ways of getting rid of things. And now I notice that I'm almost always buying something as replacement. I don't want to relive that moment of slight nausea when I donated so many things, and I will never go back. The process is heart-wrenching and painful, but it does teach a great lesson. It was in Walden that I read the quote by Thoreau, and he says, "The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it." Do let me know in the comments if this is something that you struggle with, and of course I hope to see you in next week's video.